Justine Greening is the former Secretary of State for Education and the founder of the Social Mobility Pledge, and she joins me now. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. Is Kathleen Heneghan right there when she says it's about staying on in education and getting extra training, or it's about direct support and assistance for the labour market?
I think there's a lot of what she said that is absolutely spot on. The bottom line is that we shouldn't be waiting until the autumn to confront this huge opportunity gap that we're seeing for young people in terms of where they want to go with their lives versus a jobs market that they're actually having to try and achieve success in, which is dwindling away, as we've just heard. The real risk is that we preside over what would, for me, be a scandalous waste of talent that our country simply can't afford. So what we need to do is, first of all, see the government work as closely with employers to protect opportunities as it has worked with employers to try and protect employment. And we do need to see the government take a fresh look at some of those policy levers that can help support young people both to stay in education, but also to continue to get those skills that they'll need to be successful in life. So, for example, they absolutely should be bringing back the maintenance grants for university students from more disadvantaged backgrounds. I've, for a long time, said it is iniquitous that we will lend a young person money in order to do a degree, but not lend them any capital in order to pursue a different opportunity like an apprenticeship or retraining. And we do need to look at how we can then have employers perhaps able to have a more flexible approach given to them by the government on the apprenticeship levy. Many of them would be creative in providing opportunities to young people if they were able to use that pot of their money more flexibly to do that. And through the Social Mobility Pledge, we're working with a lot of employers that are already looking at how they can effectively have, if I can call it, an opportunity action plan to be able to support young people in the autumn.
It's going to be a challenging time for employers when they come out of this lockdown. They are going to be strapped for cash as well and looking at a very different market. Do you really think there's the wiggle room for employers to give a helping hand to young adults?
I think smart employers understand that young people and their talent are part of their supply chain. And therefore, they need to be very careful not to make what are essentially short-term decisions that not only destroy opportunities for young people, but also break their pipeline supply of future talent. I do think there can be a lot of creativity between business and government over this. I would like to see some real innovation in policy take place. But I think we all have to realise that behind this is this wider issue that Britain faces of inequality of opportunity. And really the best way that our economy can bounce back from coronavirus is to transform itself into an economy where everybody can make a contribution. The young people that we heard from earlier in the package are hugely talented and want to make a contribution to not only this economy, but they want to succeed in their lives more broadly. It's absolutely in Britain's interest to support them in doing that. And we should recognise that weak productivity in the UK economy and inequality of opportunity go hand in hand. So if you solve inequality of opportunity and improve opportunities for young people, that's also how we can tackle Britain's weak productivity too. It is a win-win. And if we're not prepared to confront this and see the opportunity now, then I think there's a real question for all governments about, well, when is a good time?
Can I ask you briefly to put your other hat on, your former Education Secretary hat on? And how have we got to the situation where the government is pretty much announcing the reopening of schools and the unions are going, oh no, you're not?
I think the last thing that parents and children need really is a classroom standoff. I think that
It's what they've got, isn't it?
It's exactly what they've got. We've seen people in the NHS, civil servants, key workers busting a gut to keep this country on track. I think the last thing Britain needs is its politicians and unions squabbling over an issue that ought to be absolutely resolvable, should be driven by the science, and again requires will on both sides to find a compromise and a route forward. It's very clear to me that young people need to get back into school, especially the ones that have been most hit by the school shutdown. We should do that as soon as we safely can. But But on top of that, then government should be coming forward with, in a sense, a catch-up plan for those young people that looks at what they will need to be able to recover the ground that they've lost, whether that is enhanced home learning, tutoring, and it should be calling for people and teachers to get back into the teaching system and our education system in order to be able to cope with class sizes that I think we all expect to be a lot smaller in the future than perhaps they've been in the past.
Justin Greening, thank you.